the Great American State Fair, battling the elements from thunderstorms to the sweltering heat that interrupted several events throughout the day. He went on to honor those veterans and showcase historical American flags before promoting the Save America Act and even criticizing communism, referring to the latter as a threat comparable to cancer. This comes 3 months ahead of the big midterms, where Republicans are attempting to maintain control of both the House and the Senate amid a rise of progressive Democratic candidates who may be at odds not only with the Republican Party, but some within their own. I want to welcome in GEO political advisor and former senior GOP congressional aide, Rina Shah. Rina, a big day yesterday, obviously celebrating our nation's 250th birthday. We're continuing that celebration today. What were your thoughts, headline here, on the president's address to the nation last night?
Well, we'll be continuing these 250th birthday celebrations all year, I think. For so many of us in Washington, this is just such a moment in time, knowing that our nation is so young yet and so complex and has room for so much improvement. And I think that is what President Trump tried to talk about yesterday. He didn't put it in the way that I would have. In fact, I probably wouldn't even advise you do such a speech last night. But look, I think we need to center. This isn't just another anniversary. Yeah. America at 250 years old, and at this celebration weekend, this is our chance to really reintroduce the next generation to actual ideas of 1776 and those of individual liberty, self-government, and courage. So to me, this is a unique moment in time where all of our leaders, federal, all the way down to local, have the opportunity to really set a tone of what this nation can do in the next 250 years.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was interesting. I thought there were moments of unity in his speech, and then there were moments that some are starting to criticize today where he didn't shy away from partisanship. Take a listen to part of those moments.
America is back, and we want to keep America great, and we will do so by approving the Save America Act, which means all voters must show voter ID, and there will be no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel. And you won't have cheating on the elections anymore. Communism is a loser, and it always will be. The communist system is the opposite of the American system, and the communist system has never worked.
So he is getting some flack today on those parts of his speech. Was it the right time for him to push the Save America Act and denounce communism?
Well, look, talking about communism and its dangers, I think, is an important thing for any American elected official to do. I'm a daughter of immigrants from Uganda and India, and so I have a real patriotism woven in me that I think is unique as a first-generation American. And so what I'm really hearing from the president is that he believes America is not good enough right now, and that things like the Save America Act can make it better. I don't think it's down to that. I actually think that there are so many things that our fellow citizens do every day to make our community strong and thriving, and we are the #1 most philanthropic nation in the world. I'm really proud of that. As somebody who was born and raised in West Virginia, a very rural area, I can tell you that when people talk about what this nation means, they already know it's great. It doesn't need to be made great through some action here. And when he talks about voter ID, he's not really being inclusive. I got to think back to my first year in college when I was hours away from home and I used mail-in voting. I thought it was safe, secure, and a great way to exercise my First Amendment right. And so, which is, again, speech and who we put in office as well. So I think this is a time where we ought to be talking about the fact that America is not red or blue. It should be red, white, and blue again. Maybe we're in a hyper-polarized time. In fact, we have all the data that shows it. But the goal is simple here. We need to make sure every citizen from big cities to small towns feels like this year-long celebration belongs to them. And that only happens when we focus on shared history and shared goals and things that we can do to make our country better.
Yeah, such an amazing perspective. And I think overall, I think that's a perspective a lot of people have, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, left or right, focusing, especially this weekend, on what makes us unique as a country and special, where we have gone right. And tomorrow we can talk a little bit about where we have gone wrong and how to correct that for our generation and the generations to come. It's a part of the overall picture of America that hopefully is 250 plus years into the future and beyond. Geopolitical advisor, former senior GOP congressional aide, Rina, always like talking to you. Rina Shah, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And happy 4th. Yes. All right.